Hey everybody, welcome to the first What's New in School for 2026. It's January 30th. It's a Friday. I hope you are all doing well. And I've been working a lot on the courses and will be working on them until all the PLC courses are updated. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things I'm working on. And I actually put together a PowerPoint here so I don't forget to list anything. And then we'll take a look at some of the things as well. But let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing I've been working on is I'm redoing all my PLC courses for 2026, all the Allen Bradley ones to start. And everybody who's in either the extended or level 1 and 2, you're getting these for free. They're not going to be no additional charge, just because it's going to be the same material, well, expanded in many ways and longer in many ways, but it's not going to be so different where I think anybody's going to want to buy it a second time. Once you learn how to program a PLC, you learn how to program a PLC, right? But in any case, I want to have these new courses available because it's 2026. I spent the last 12 years creating a new course every year. And now I want to update all my Allen Bradley PLC courses. Then I'll move on to the Siemens and so on. So, with that said, I started at the beginning. I did a lot of other stuff, preparatory stuff last year. And so I started at the beginning and I filmed all new lessons. And so a lot of these new lessons are both for the new 101 courses coming out this year, but also for the original courses as well. So I wanted to better differentiate the brand new courses from the original ones. So I refilmed, well, first off, the intro lesson on all my Allen Bradley PLC courses. So for the original PLC first edition, PLC second edition, PAC basics, compact basics, plus all the new courses I'm doing as well. So all those lessons are refilmed along with lesson 101. Lesson 101 is the lesson where I talk in detail about the topics covered. So I had to go back to those original courses and get the data sheets out and look at what I covered. And then for the new courses, I put together the preliminary list of everything I'm going to cover. It could change over the course of the next few weeks, but I went ahead and filmed that lesson. I think it's pretty cemented, the topic list. So all those have been filmed. And then lesson 102, I just finished those. And those are the following along. And there's some new stuff I'm doing in 2026 that I didn't do over the last 12 years. And so I really wanted to make sure those were updated. So edits to those. I spent a lot of time updating all the software prices for you guys so you know what today's software is. Probably won't do that again. I did that 2 years ago, so probably won't do that again for a while. But I do give you a link on how to get your own software prices. I show the 2024 prices, the 2026 prices, so you can get an idea of how they change. If there was new starter packs, I included those. Just all kinds of new information in there as well. Now, those again, these all have not been updated yet. I'm actually waiting until I get the new courses have sections 1 and 2 complete, and then I'll give those to everybody who's in the extended or level 1 2s, and it'll show as early access, and there'll actually be some meat there. But in any case, so I wanted to cover that. Now, additional updates I've done. So I've told you last year I was going to start renumber the old original courses to match the new courses, and I've already started doing that. And there's a table in lesson point zero two, the updated, updates lesson, and so I've been updating that as well. And I'm adding comments to each of those lesson .02s whenever I change something. So as I add stuff, you'll see more and more comments fill up. I have the comments for January, and I'll add February, March, and so on as I go on. So you can keep track of, if you haven't been there for a while, you can say, hey, what's new, right? The other thing is I did update all the IO tables in lesson 103 to add the digital twin tags. Now, the digital twin is not out yet, but it's very close to coming out. And so we'll talk about that more in a minute. We'll actually take a look at it. And then start files. So one of the lessons I updated last year, I talked about using the start file where I delete all my code and give you the file with all my comments, right? So you don't have to type in all those comments. That's something I do with my Mastering Logics applications courses and or mastering application courses. And so I wanted to do it for these courses. So I had updated that video last year, but I didn't actually put the uploads up. So somebody was asking for them, so I have now updated all of them. And let me see if I can pull that up here. I'll just show you what that would look like here. Which window is it? Yeah, so this is it. So when you go to the Appendix A, um, lesson for the course, right? You'll see now at the top new. In this case, this is a Micrologics course, so there's Micrologic program start files. And I have these for all the courses now, right? But now I'm doing something additional to that is what we call a simulation. So if all you have is the emulator or maybe a PLC, you don't have anything wired to it, and you want to, I wrote some simulation code to simulate the process. So things still happen. That could confuse some people, right? But in any case, I wanted to make sure you guys had that. And we also have a PianoView Plus project where you can use with that simulated code. So I'll show you that right now, but I just want to say, this is just extra stuff I'm giving away to students, right? So this is, I'm not trying to teach you how to be a simulation expert. I'm not trying to teach you how to use PianoView Plus. But for some students out there, they may find these helpful. I wanted to provide these for you. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me get VMware up. So this is what the program would look like as you're designing it. So this is the program that if the course was done, this is all the code we would write, right? And so this is PLC Basic Second Edition. But what you're going to see here is there are a couple of rungs at the top of this code, okay, because it has the simulation built in. Okay, the second rung here is a jump to the simulation routine that has to happen there before your code. And the first rung is this is just kind of to tell us this actually allows us, if we have no buttons or lights, this allows us to toggle on different buttons, right? So I can toggle on the stop button, okay? That needs to be on for the unit to start. You can see here, the motor is not running. So let me go ahead and hit the start button on and off. And now we can see the motor running. And we can actually see parts coming down the conveyor and going in front of the photo eye. So this is just extra code to allow you, those guys who just have a PLC or the emulator, don't have any code out there and want the, want to something more animated. This simulation code is completely free. I want to do this for all the courses. Right now it's just PLC Basic Second Edition. Now I pair that with an HMI file. So if you have a PianoView Plus software, just one screen in here and you can see this is showing you what's happening, right? So you write the code that controls this widget machine, but this graphically shows it to you. And all of these buttons tie into actual tags, not to the inputs and outputs, because you can't write to the inputs because the input scan is so much faster than FactoryTalk View. And that's what the subroutine takes care of doing that for you. So in any case, when this gets up to 15 products in the work in progress bin, the parts bin, you'll see the photo eye go on, and then you'll see the system stop because we wrote that code, that interlock in our code to stop the system when the bin was full, right? So that's something we did in the course, and now you can see and you can see the lights flashing. So this really visualize. So you're not just looking at code, you have something visual to look at it with. And so I want to do this for all the original courses and then all the new courses as well. But it's very important that I do this with the original courses or with the MicroLogic 6500 PLC5 because the digital twin I'm going to be providing you guys as well does not work with those really old PLCs. So I want you guys to have this. And depending on the course, this will look different, right? And the numbers will be different and so on, right? So this matches this particular course. So I can come up here and I can empty the bin, okay, and I can start the system back up, and it goes. So this is available today for PLC Basics. Let's see if I can pull that web page back up. PLC Basics Second Edition. I hope to have it for PAC Basics, Compact Basics, and PLC Basics First Edition, although that's going to be very simple because the way that course was laid out. Okay. So in any case, but all the courses have this download here for the start file without simulation available today. So I wanted to show you that. The other thing I did, let me go back to the PowerPoint here. So we talked about that. And now I want to talk about what's coming. So I did update the lessons with simulation tags, and I said we'll talk about that later. Well, um, as I was going through lesson 103, I realized I had to make updates to that as well. Okay, so I got these simulation files, I got these HMIs. So lesson 103 needs to be updated and refilmed, and lesson 104 needs to be updated and refilmed. So that's what I'm going to be working on early next week, and then I'll be able to release the digital twin. Right now, the digital twin will only work with Compact Control Logics, Micro 800, Micro 800 Simulator. I should have said FactoryTalk Echo as well, and the S7 PLCs, right? It works with 30 and above of the Compact and Control Logics and FactoryTalk Echo. And as some people are asking out there, hey, why doesn't it work with Emulate 5000? Emulate 5000 does not emulate a PLC on Ethernet, like Factory Talk Echo and the Micro 800 simulator. So this digital twin will be coming to the students in the Compact Logics, Control Logics, Micro 800, and S7 courses. So whether they're old or new courses, I'm giving it to you. I've already updated the lesson 103 tag tables. Okay. And so what you're going to get is you'll be able to, on lesson 104, when I'm done with it next week, you'll be able to download the digital twin model, and you're going to get a free 90-day license of the software, right? So I don't recommend to redeem the license until you're ready to start going through all the labs. But let me show you, and I think I've showed you guys before, but I want to show you again what the digital twin work looks like. And this is what it looks like. And this is a real 3D world, you know, and this is just some pretty awesome software. But in any case, let me see if I can get back here. And so we call this the Widget Machine 4000 because the I/O is in a little bit different places. And so I actually had this tied in right now to my L24. And so I have just a simple program in there to show stopping and starting. Okay. And so, you can do all kinds of things. You can jam the incoming, you can jam the outgoing. If you wanted to clear the belt off, you could do that. Let me unjam this. And you can see there's two motors here because in some of the courses we do two motors. And then let me take that jam off. And of course, when this guy fills up and the PE1 comes on, right? Whoops. Yeah, there we go. When he fills up, we'll get PE1, and then we will have to clear the bin. Boom. Okay, and then we can start her back up again. Okay, and so we can go through all of the lessons in the early part of the course with this digital twin, and I thought it would be very helpful for those guys who have a Compact Logics, Control Logics, Factory Talk Echo, which I show how to get a free demo of for like 30 days, as well as Micro 800, Micro 800 Sim, which is free, and the S7 1200, 1500, and PLC Sim. So really appreciate the guys over at this is a PLC Lab 3D Studio. They actually created this twin for me, and they've given us those free licenses, which is really, really cool. So in any case, you guys will be seeing availability of this next week. Now, a couple things here. Of course, I'm running. Let me turn the tags on. Tags. So you can see all the tags here. This is what I'm, and I know my face is in the way. There we go. So you can see all the tags here. So these are the tags I updated in lesson 103 so that you know that, the PLC tag, and then you know what the digital twin tag would be. Now, this doesn't exactly match every course I've done. So, I've remapped it. Some of the start buttons are at input number 3, some are at input number 2. So I've put in that truth table on that lesson what the mapping is. So you guys should be able to map this into whatever course you're taking. Sadly, it doesn't work with the SLC 500, Micro Logics, or PLC 5. Yeah, I mean, we do know that Factory IO. I do have one of these in Factory IO. It's not as polished, but I do want to release that as well in case anybody would rather use Factory IO. But because that does work with the Micrologics and SLC 500. But again, this is Logix version 30 and up. I have not been able to get it to work with 29 or down. I don't know why, but I have tested it out on Compact and Control Logix. So with that, let's go back to the PowerPoint. So, I'm going to be working on 103, 104, and then it'll be into getting into section 2. And when section 2 is done, everybody who's in PLC, or I should say extended or level 1, 2 courses will get the new course for free, and you'll be able to start following along as I add new lessons every week. And again, the digital twin will be in lesson 104, free twin model and free 90-day license. It'll be like the PLC application simulator I give you today. You fill in a form, you press submit, basically saying, hey, this is, the digital twin is copyrighted us, and you can use it as a student, but it's not freeware for the whole world, and so on and so forth. So with that, that was it. I think I showed you everything I wanted to show you. I went through the whole PowerPoint, so it must be everything. So in any case, let me know what you guys think. Do you like these updates? I want to do one every week if possible. So Just to keep you guys up to date on what I'm working on, and I'm going to be posting this. We got a brand new YouTube channel for the Automation School, so these will go there. These will go on the LinkedIn channel, which I haven't been posting a lot of stuff on for the Automation School. And of course, these will be available at theautomationschool.com. There's a banner at the front that says what's new. When you click that, you'll see a list, and the newest one will always be on top. And so if you have any questions, as always, use the support email at theautomationschool.com to get in touch with me if you have any problems taking your courses. I know we had one company who, for whatever reason, the firewall was blocking them, so we changed our firewall. But if you guys have any problems at all, you can't find a file, you have a question on a lesson, you know how to get in touch with me. And with that, I want to wish you all a good weekend. I want to wish you good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.